With only 3 races remaining in the regular season, welcome everybody here as we get set for race number 18 of Season 1, the debut season of the NNSCRA TaxSlayer Truck Series. Getting ready to begin the weekend I've been most looking forward to as we get ready for all 3 series to be racing here this weekend at the mile-long racetrack known as Hillside. 40 laps of racing on tap here this evening. And why am I so excited about this racetrack? Well, this racetrack debuted last season, Season 2 of P Minnick Series, Season 4 of Hershey's Cup Series. And the racing it brought about was absolutely mental. And it's these kind of racetracks and the type of racing that we had that is just so perfect, being on the cusp of finding out who's going to be able to make the playoffs and who isn't. This is a mile-long racetrack, as I mentioned, but it seems to almost be like a super speedway in a way. These drivers, you'll see them tonight racing 3 wide, several rows deep, and here's the catcher. They're going to be able to keep it together. It's going to be wild racing all night long. Can't wait to see what's going to happen. But our championship grid coming into this race is getting even smaller in terms of who's being able to be in and who's going to be on the outside looking in, despite having a trip to victory lane. Right now, your 8 playoff drivers, according to the live point standings at this current point in time, are Joshua Hyatt, Charles Jackson in with their 2 wins, and then the other 6 spots currently are filled up by Ace Garcia, Nick Johnson, pole sitter Jonathan Zoerlein, Marcus Saatchi, Carter Friesen, and last week's winner from Daytona, Davey Johnson, has now jumped up into the 8th and final spot in the current playoff grid. However, right behind him in the point standings by 7 points, I should say, is Isaac Nicholls. And then, not too far behind him, 20 points back, is Alex Gray. So it's going to come down here tonight, more than likely a battle between the 77, 19, and 0 for that final transfer spot into the chase for the championship. But keep in mind, if any driver ahead of where Davey Johnson is in points, 25th, wins here tonight, all 3 of them are they're going to have to try and chase down that driver for the 8th and final chase spot. So it is getting really, really tight. And a lot of drivers here tonight that have a win would love to get a second win so that way they could be like Joshua Hyatt and Charles Jackson and be locked in and not have to worry about it. Let's go down. Get those most famous words in motorsports.
Drivers, start your engines!
40 laps of racing here tonight. So our 3 stages will be 15, 15, and 10. Completions of laps 15, 30, and 40. Let's give you your top 10. The points coming into tonight's race presented by Golden Corral. Ace Garcia is still the points leader, but now only 18 points in hand over Ryan Madden. Michael Whitman is 3rd in the points. Ricky Cervantes 4th, and Nick Johnson is 5th. Then it's Joshua Hyatt 6th, Seth Cole 7th, Zach Rogers in 8th, Jessica Miles 9th, and Joseph Srigley completes the top 10. Of the top 10 in points coming into this race, only 3 drivers have been to victory lane, so 7 drivers inside the overall top 10 in points looking for their first win here of the season. Pace car makes their pace truck in this case, makes the left-hand turn to pit road. Here we go, we're racing at Hillside, let's roll! First time that the Truck Series has been here to Hillside, but we should make mention that last season when the P Minnick Series were here, Ace Garcia went to victory lane, and he is in this Truck Series field here tonight. Jonathan Zoerlein, one of those drivers that has a win this season, would love to be able to pick up a second one and solidify himself a spot in the chase for the championship. He gets a pretty good advantage right now. Back to second place, which is another former winner this season in Jordan Lopes, who finds himself mired all the way down now in the 39th position in the point standings. So at least trying to get back in the top 30 in the points. And time is running out for that team as well to be able to put these good finishes together, to be up there and challenge for that final transfer spot into the chase for the championship. Seth Cole to the inside of Paul Minnick for 3rd, and here comes the run that I was talking about. It's going to be Seth Cole actually going for 2nd. Lopes thought about going for the race lead on Zoerlein, couldn't get there before the 98 was to his left rear, and now Seth Cole, with the help of R Brommer and R Czekala, he's going to go to the race lead. First lead change of the evening. Now Czekala going to move Brommer up to the top side. That's going to be the battle on for 2nd place. I'm trying to remember if last season in either Pizza Hut X Series race or the Hershey's Cup Series race if we had green flag pit stops and any pit strategy, and if I remember correctly, we didn't. And I'm almost 100% certain we ran 40 laps in those two events as well. So these drivers may not have to pit. Then again, they might. I mean, I'm trying to remember, and I'm not 100% certain that they didn't make green flag pit stops. Oh! Wow! What a save between Alex Gray and Ryan Madden. Both cars were down in the apron, and somehow they saved it. That was a close call. I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but that was a heck of a save, especially on the part of the zero. And credit Ryan Madden for lifting to give Gray the opportunity to get that truck righted as they are battling up for the lead again. This time Ryan Brommer to the inside of Seth Gold. Marty Czekala right there. 3 Chevy Silverados, all 3 looking for their first win of the season. Brommer with the lead. Here comes Czekala now trying to get the spot. Can't quite get to the inside of Brommer. They're into turn 3, and you can look down there at the apron, that yellow line between the apron and the racing surface between 3 and 4. You can see the skid marks there that were caused by the sideways truck of Alex Gray. It's a wonder we're not under caution. It's a wonder that wasn't a big wreck too. Tremendous piece of driving by himself and Madden. There's Ryan Brommer out in front. Brommer coming into this race 20th in the point standing, so if he won, then those drivers like we mentioned, Davey Johnson, Isaac Nichols, Alex Gray, that'd be another driver they'd have to try and pass in the points to have their win count towards a chase spot. Right behind him, you got Marty Czekala, and now Czekala comes into this race mired way down in the point standings. He currently comes into this race. Well, actually, no, he's 22nd in points. So he's another driver, much like Brommer, that if he went to victory lane, he could have himself in the hunt for one of the playoff positions. So I'm reading it, it's seeming to me like Czekala, a lot of his finishes were rather poor, and so I thought more than likely he'd be mired down in points. That's not the case, though. Well, he does have an average finishing position of just under 20th, about 19 plates, so yeah, that's actually a lot better than some other drivers in the field. 3 top 5s and 5 top 10s, so yeah, he's had a pretty good season actually. Gotta give him credit where the credit's due. Meanwhile, though, these two have another driver that's trying to pick up his first win of the season, J Cervantes, who is up to 4th in the point standings there, that Nissan Titan. Now in 3rd place and trying to get up here. Of course, we've documented that the season opening Daytona race, he ended up losing in a photo finish to the eventual winner of that event, which was Tony Green. Trying to get some redemption here. He has been one of the strongest trucks the last couple of weeks. I think maybe the 3 best trucks that we've seen in the last few weeks have got to be Whitman in the 33, Cervantes in the 58, and then probably I would have to say Zach Rogers in the 39. He's been pretty consistent as well. Eli Bright. Got Carter Friesen to his inside. There are a number of drivers in this field that have raced Hillside before, whether it be in the TaxSlayer or in the Pizza Hut X Series or Hershey's Cup Series races here last season. Eli is one of those. Eli Bright drove the 05 Pizza Hut X Series last year. Of course, we mentioned Ace Garcia. There he is. Nick Johnson has also raced this track before. Jonathan Zoerlein has raced this track before. You go down through the list, there's a number of drivers, like I said, have experience in this track, so they're not coming into this place cold turkey, not knowing what this track brings to the table. And I told you, these drivers, they can race double wide, they can race 3 wide, and they can hold on to it. We've raced 16 laps and no caution yet, and I'm expecting we may not see the yellow flag at all before the checkered flag waves. Is Carter Friesen going to lead a lap? That's a very valuable bonus point for him as he came into this race 7th of the 8 playoff drivers up to this point. Now Eli Bright going to take a turn out in front, but will he lead this lap? Because he almost wrecked himself off the nose of the 97 of Julius Anderson. As the 3 car of Easton Barber just up ahead here, he's about to go a lap down, and Easton was actually up near the front at the start of this race. I think he started this race from 3rd. Now he's going to fall a lap down. I wonder if something happened between Easton Barber and the 11 of J Lagasee, because there he is way off the pace of these drivers as well, and truck sounds a little bit slow. I wonder if he and the 3 made a little contact or something. Maybe got up in the wall and scrubbed off speed, although I haven't seen any really indication as far as skid marks or anything on the racing surface to show anything of that kind happening, as Ace Garcia wanted to lead a lap, but M Czekala is going to deny him, and now they'll go through wide for the lead. Cervantes to the bottom. Ryan Madden there to offer the drafting help, along with J Zoerlein. This track is very much reliant on the draft in the corners. Cervantes now out in front showing the way. Ryan Madden's done a heck of a job last couple of weeks, cutting down over a 60-point lead that Ace Garcia had between himself and the 99. Has cut it down to 18 points coming into this one, and now running ahead of Ace Garcia here tonight, so may continue to whittle that away. The heartbreak, though, that there is for a number of these drivers based off of the playoff system that we have. You look at all these different drivers up here inside the top 10 in points. Madden, Whitman, Cervantes, Cole, Rogers, Miles, Srigley. They're having really good seasons. But good season doesn't mean anything if you don't have a trip to victory lane in terms of making the playoffs. So you see right here, Cervantes and Madden, 2 drivers that are top 10 in the point standings, both battling each other, trying to get that win. Desperately trying to get that win, so that way their consistent season is going to actually mean something, and they'll be able to battle for a championship by the time the checker flag waves at M&M Super Speedway. M Czekala now going to get to the left rear quarter panel, and he'll go to the inside of Ryan Madden for the lead, but not so fast. Julius Anderson thinking 3 wide, and he will make the move. He's got J Zoerlein right behind him, and here comes the 33 of Whitman. We talked about him being a consistent driver the last couple of weeks. Now he's up inside the top 10. Davey Johnson is up here. Our Daytona winner last week crossed the line in 8th, trying to go for back-to-back victories. Another driver I see also moving his way up there is Charles Jackson in the 4. Two-time winner this season. Haven't really seen the 83 of the other 2-time winner, Joshua Hyatt, come up to the front yet. And actually, I'm getting myself all mixed up here. I said Davey Johnson was the winner last week. That's actually incorrect. I do apologize. That was 2 weeks ago. Julius Anderson out in front, Eli Bright in second. Yeah, because last week we were racing at Pikes Peak, where, or no, oh, okay, yeah, wow, I just failed. I was thinking the trucks raced last week and they were off when we had the Pizza X Series and Hershey's Cup Series races. So my apologies. So it was last time out that Davey Johnson won when we were at Daytona. Okay, I was getting myself all confused there for a moment, thinking I actually hadn't done the points from last time out. Okay, we're back on track. My apologies. I had a bit of a brain fart there, and sorry for that gap in the commentary, but I was getting myself confused and a little bit worried as well. I think I got a couple new gray hairs on the top of my noggin. Eli Bright, side by side for the race lead now with Anderson. He will take it. Here comes Carter Friesen in the 29. He's going to try and take the race lead now. We got some drivers up here, former winners, that have an opportunity of getting yet another trip to victory lane. Friesen and Jackson. M Saatchi is up here, Nick Johnson, J Zoerlein. And we are now at 10 laps to go, 9 when they hit the stripe. Eli Bright was a former chaser last season in the Pizza Hut X Series. He comes into tonight's race, currently situated down in 36th. There still is time mathematically for him to make his way back into the top 30 in the points. He's only 17 points back from the 30th position cut line. But he's got to make those moves sooner rather than later. And a trip to victory lane tonight would be a start. Carter Friesen actually got the second position still, using the high side. And looks like the inside line's not getting quite as good momentum as the outside line. Julius Anderson also just swung around Charles Jackson for third. Another slow car to deal with. That's the 3 of Easton Barber, and this says to me that the 3 car is not running on all cylinders. For them being that slow, you'd have thought that with them all passing him before that he'd have been able to make up ground catching on to the tail end of this pack, but that's not the case, and that high side got held up quite a bit there as well. I think R Brommer was in that group. And they're going to fade back a little bit here, getting close to the end of this race because of the 3 truck holding up their forward progress. Meanwhile, it's mano-a-mano at the front of the field right now. Julius Anderson in the 97, Carter Friesen in the 29. Anderson coming into this race 41st in the point standings. His likelihood of making the top 30 in the standings a little bit more dire than it is for others. He comes into this race currently situated 56 points back from the 30th position in the points cut line as he's 41st in the standings. And here comes Charles Jackson looking for win number 3, but Ryan Madden right there as well in the 99. Got a little loose there on the inside line. And now he'll battle side by side with Carter Friesen. Couple of Toyota Tundras up front here. Anderson in the 97, Jackson in the 4. Jackson looking for his 3rd win of the season. Carter Friesen closing the gap in on those 2. Davey Johnson's there, Seth Cole there. They're 4th and 5th, as it will be 3 laps to go, this time at the line. Friesen gets in the left rear quarter panel of Jackson. The battle is on for 2nd. Seth Cole has cleared Davey Johnson for 4th. Marty Czekala right there with him. He moves to 5th. As they're side by side for 2nd, this opens the door for Julius Anderson. And why is this important? Well, Anderson, like we said, it's almost seeming like a near impossibility for him to get back into the top 30 in points for this win to count. So this could almost be kind of a moot point race for a number of drivers that try to have a win, get them into the playoffs. We'll have to wait and see though, as Friesen going to hang on to 2nd around the outside line as the white flag is displayed for Julius Anderson. Just trying to get a win here in what's been a mediocre season for that 97 team, but Carter Friesen wants the win. Big drive down into turn 3. He'll be side by side with Anderson. We may have a photo finish here at Hillside. Friesen gets a little loose on the inside line, and Anderson on the top side will hold on and win here tonight at Hillside. Friesen got a great run out of turn 2, but it looks like as this run went on, that inside line, the grip was going away and drivers just could not make the entry or the exit work for them, would get a little loose and lose momentum. And Julius Anderson, knowing the top side had better momentum, used it to his advantage off of turn 4 to take the checkered flag in this one here tonight. So now is the big question. We mentioned already that he is a total of 56 points back from 30th in the standings cut line. Are 2 races enough for him to make up ground for this win to count towards a spot in the playoffs? More importantly for him coming into this race, his gap between himself and Davey Johnson was somewhere around 95 points. So can he make up that much ground on Davey Johnson, who came into this race holding the final playoff position? We'll have to wait and see. But the standings are official, clean and green all the way to the end for this 40-lap event. And like I suspected, I didn't think these drivers would have to make green flag pit stops, and that was indeed the case. Carter Friesen will bring it home in 2nd, though. This is actually a good run for him in the fact he did not have a good run at Daytona last time out and dropped from 12th to 18th in points, so this will help him rebound. Seth Cole, another consistent run, but not a trip to victory lane, gets a podium in 3rd, with Marty Czekala 4th, and Charles Jackson there in 5th place. Jackson could be heading into our next race. Confirmed driver locked in the chase for the championship mathematically now. We'll have to wait and see. Nick Johnson, great run for him, as this is going to help him as well to have his spot solidified in the playoffs. Ryan Madden will finish in 7th. 8th place for Mason Wood, second straight week that Woods had a good run. Davey Johnson, same for him, following up his win from Daytona, gets a 9th place here. So I think he still would be one of the 8 playoff drivers currently. And Gabe Williams is going to finish the day out in the 10th position. Jonathan Zoerlein finishes outside the top 10, but a well-needed run for him as well. This may move him inside the top 10 in points. Shane Lake going to bring it home in 12th. Eli Bright in 13th. We mentioned we didn't see Joshua Hyatt all night long. Well, he popped up in the top 15 late for 14th, and Ryan Brommer completed the top 15. You see Ace Garcia finishing down there in the 20th position, while Ryan Madden finished in 7th. So that means that more than likely Ryan Madden's going to close that points gap up between himself and the 51 even more. As a matter of fact, with stage points in play, he may have actually taken over the points lead. We'll have to wait and see if that's the case. But we'll look on down through the remainder of the finishing results. 40 trucks of our original 42 finished on the lead lap. Jack Lagasee finished 41st rather, 1 lap down, and Easton Barber finished 2 laps down. That truck was obviously well off the pace here this evening. But that is going to do it here tonight for this race from Hillside. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, and become part of the crew today. We've shown your full fishing results. These are your overall point standings heading into our next race. As next race, it's going to be DuQuoin, a dirt track for these Truck Series drivers. And then, of course, the following week is our regular season finale at M&M Superspeedway, where we will determine the 8 drivers that will battle for this season's championship. We still got to finish up this weekend here from Hillside. Pizza Deck Series and Hershey's Cup Series action going to be coming your way here this weekend, as they will take to this racetrack. If you enjoyed this race, you're going to enjoy those races as well. I will see you guys next time. You've been watching a production of the NNSCRA, Offline Racing at its best.